If you need proof that game developers learn nothing in 2024 and the entire industry is being driven off of a cliff right now, look no further than the 100 games announced in June at the Summer Gay Fest, Xbox Gay Showcase, and State of Gay. You could put everything shown here into 4 buckets. Number 1, rainbow clown barf shooters and DEI nonsense. Number 2, cutesy indie games that nobody will ever play. Number 3, low effort nostalgia bait. Oh, look, it's Mortal Kombat and Metal Gear and Silent Hill. You're going to buy it, right? Right? The 4th bucket is, of course, Asian games in which Japan, China, and Korea keep making the based games they always have. But even Asia is starting to be infected with cancerous Western wokeness in games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so who knows anymore? Like, guys, how did we get here? I have never before seen a video game industry in which so many people were making so many games that nobody gave a fuck about. Do you want me to prove that most people didn't care about anything shown at these Summer Games Fests? Go pull up the trailers of most of the games shown, and I'll guarantee you none of them got more than 40,000 views. Gamers are tired of rainbow clown barf games. We're tired of everything being some extraction shooter copy of everything else. We're tired of gay, communist, degenerate girl boss propaganda being rammed into every single game. All right, Andy, so what do gamers want? We want the very thing that the feminists and homosexuals who run the video game industry don't know how to create: masculinity. We want concepts like duty, honor, sacrifice, family, fathers, sons, daughters. Listen to this 5-second clip from SOCOM and tell me what this feels like. Did you feel that from anything that you saw at Summer Games Fest? No, because there are no heroes anymore. Because there are no men in video games anymore. Everything is gay, feminist, confused, degenerate nonsense now. We want Space Marine 3. We want an Uncharted reboot with a base Nathan Drake. We want a Gears of War reboot starring Marcus Phoenix, the Giga Chad himself. We want a masculine Master Chief reboot. We want Last of Us 3, but it stars Joel on a new adventure. We want angry old Kratos before he got cucked by Sony. Just for comparison on how beyond dead the video game industry is, go look at what was coming out in 2007 and compare it to the slop we have in 2025. 2007, BioShock, God of War 2, Halo 3, Uncharted 1, Assassin's Creed 1, COD 4, Crysis, and The Witcher. 2025. Here's a climbing game where you play as a transgender brown woman, and when you get to the top, you transition into a man. Isn't that cool? No, it's not. Hey, here's 25 black girl bosses in a game that looks like a Lisa Frank notebook. You want to play this, right? No, we don't. Boys, I mean this in all seriousness. Your only 2 options right now are to play old games or to find a new hobby. Me personally, I'm playing old stuff right now and having a blast. Freedom Fighters, Uncharted 2, Rainbow Six Vegas, just a few of the games I'm having fun with right now. But guys, isn't it funny to look back on a year ago and think how cute we were for thinking that the industry was actually going to change? Like, we actually thought that 2024 was going to be the last year of woke garbage. How naive we were. But fellas, I don't think we fully understand how deep the cancer and the rot goes here. Think about it this way. If I'm a balding male game developer who dresses up in women's clothes, once a game comes out, I've already gotten my money. Do you think they were monetarily affected by the fact that Veilguard failed? No, they were paid for 5 years to develop Veilguard. They've gotten their money, they're happy, and probably using that money to fund their next indie game about Jewish trans hamsters. Western gaming will not heal until we burn the entire thing down and everyone is fired. Remember that. Eastern gaming and Asian gaming is going strong still, but for Western game developers, I'm predicting that something on the level of the video game crash of 1983 is the only way we will truly get these people out of the industry. They all have to lose their jobs. That's the only solution. So boys, for the rest of this video, I want to look at a few of the 100 games that were announced in June at the game shows. I would say it was 90% garbage and there was like 10% good stuff, but we will look at a few good things as well. 2 quick announcements before we get into the main video. Do you live in Atlanta, Georgia? Are you tired of Zoom meetings and want to meet up in person? So I've been thinking it would be fun for a while now to have an in-person meetup with some of you based gamer dudes who are fans of my channel and are tired of all the woke nonsense in games. I think we'll just meet up at a bar one night and grab some wings, so you have to be at least 21 to come, and I bet like 8 people are going to show up, but it'll be a good time. Anyway, email me if you are in Atlanta and you want to come to the first Andy Pants Gaming meetup, andypantsgames@gmail.com. Also, announcement number 2. In case you didn't know, I am a 42-year-old man, I'm married, and I have 2 kids. I get a ton of questions on a regular basis about girls, about dating, about jobs, about life stuff. So if you're interested in my thoughts on any of these other topics besides gaming, subscribe to the channel in the description below. It's just called Andy Pants School of Life. All right, back to the video. Okay, so first up, I want to talk about some of the Rainbow Clown Barf shooters that came out. First up, there's Tides of Tomorrow. Like, guys, is this not the ugliest game you've ever seen in your life? You know the bad guy is going to be an Elon Musk stand-in, and they're like, the tides of the earth rose because you didn't use scissors to cut the plastic on your Coke cans. Look what you've done, Republicans. It's by the guys who did Road 96, that gay hitchhiker simulator where Donald Trump was the bad guy, so you know it's going to be awful. I mean, honestly, I'm blown away that they combined everything wrong with the video game industry into one game. It's amazing. And there's our black girl boss right on time. I'm predicting 10 people play it on Steam and the studio closes. Moving on. FBC Firebreak is Remedy Entertainment's new mailed-it-in slop shooter that they were clearly contractually obligated by their parent company to make. I installed it on my Xbox just for some lols. I would put it up there with Concord as truly having the most unattractive and unappealing character designs I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, guys, you can't even tell if this is a woman or a man. Why did they think a baggy raincoat for every single character would be an appealing design? I checked and 100 people are playing this game right now. Bro, it came out 2 weeks ago. That's awful. Next up, Wildgate. So apparently this game was made by former Blizzard developers, but I don't really care about Bro and his trans son. Sorry. Yet again, these colors are making my eyes bleed. Like, have you ever seen an uglier game in your life? Moving on, and sorry I'm going so quick here, but there's really nothing to say about these games. They're truly that bad. Last Flag answers the question of just how many minorities can we shove into one predictable team-based shooter game. I think in 2025, they're finally realizing Clown Barf doesn't sell anymore, so they're updating the color palette to this kind of 1970s retro thing. Man, so excited to play as a black lesbian girl boss beating up white people. Splitgate 2. So this game was announced and then immediately came out, but don't even look it up because it's already dead, apparently. There's like 3,000 people playing it right now, which is not that great. So first off, the initial art for this game just looked terrible and woke. I remember playing the first one on my Xbox, and I thought the premise was pretty interesting, but got old quick. It's basically like if you took Portal and you made a shooter out of it. So when the game launched a couple weeks ago, the CEO took a photo of himself with a hat on that said, "Make video games great again." There's a huge backlash online from men who dress as women, and he does the dumbest thing ever. He apologizes for the hat. Like, bro, if you want to be based and support Trump, cool, do it. But apologizing for wearing the hat is now going to make us all hate you. So it's like both sides of the political spectrum hate this guy now. It's sad to see a game die and tons of people be out of jobs now because this dumbass CEO just needed to have some integrity and pick a lane and stick with it. Arc Raiders is an extraction shooter made by the guys who created The Finals. Even though The Finals is probably full of woke garbage now, I did enjoy the game for the first few months when it came out. What concerns me about Arc Raiders is it has all the calling cards of DEI nonsense. Black lesbian girl bosses as the main characters, gay, quirky, trans robots, and side characters. What's even worse is they are charging full price for this game on launch and it's not free. I predict Arc Raiders will be another woke abortion that absolutely flops on launch. Like, are these guys ever going to learn their lesson? High on Life 2, yet another Rainbow Clown Barf game. So with this game, I'm starting to think maybe it's intentional, like maybe they're making fun of other games, but maybe that's giving them too much credit. Fragpunk was another game that came out recently. It just had this dog-ass ugly art style. Guys, I swear the first company to bring back the 2000s muted tones art style is going to make bank, and it's going to be an awesome game. I didn't play a ton of High on Life 1, but I seem to remember it being pretty funny. Maybe if you can look past the ugly art style, this game's going to be pretty funny to play. It's by the Rick and Morty guys, of course. All right, Outer Worlds 2. Guys, y'all already know this game is completely dead on arrival. All you need to do is look at Avowed, which was a massive flop in February, to understand how hard this game is going to faceplant. I actually went back and tried to play Outer Ones recently to see if I could enjoy the humor enough to play it. And I think I made it all the way up to that annoying girl boss Ellie before I was like, God, this game sucks. And I just put it down. So yeah, guys, the developer of Avowed made this. That's all you need to know. It's going to be trash. All right, let's move on to all of the cutesy indie games that nobody is going to play. There was probably 3 times as many as I'm going to mention here, but I'm just going to mention the ones that jumped out to me. Cairn or Karen. The funny thing about this game is I think they pronounce it Karen. Like, dude, why would you name your game Karen? That is the worst idea ever. It's the transgender climbing game I mentioned earlier. You get to the top of the mountain and realize you were born a woman but want a dick now. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Mixtape. This game is your standard Life is Strange slop. Cast of forced diverse characters. Somebody comes out to their Republican Christian dad. The dad is like, ain't no son of mine gonna be gay. Boo, conservatives are badass game. We've seen it 1,000 times. No ghosts at the Grand. So I just realized I should have filed this game under gay rainbow clown barf. Like, y'all seriously? Why does everything in 2025 look like a clown got food poisoning and threw up all over all of it? Like, it's truly... These people are supposed to be artists, and they picked these colors. These are the most dog-ass, butt-ugly colors for a game I've ever seen. Sea of Remnants. So this game is basically Sony looking at Sea of Thieves, which I think has been pretty popular on their platform, and just saying, ooh, we need to do that. That's all this is. Baby Steps. This is just another one of those joke games that people play because it's funny. Boo. Clockwork Revolution. I'm filing this game under indie, even though it's probably AA. The thing that concerns me about In Exile Entertainment and Clockwork Revolution is they are an ultra gay and woke studio. If you play Wasteland 3, the bad guys in that game worship Ronald Reagan. So they basically just hate conservatives and they hate good people who actually have morality. Now, as far as the art style itself, like I really like the art style, and it's possible that this game could be good, but right now it's not looking so great. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about all the low-effort nostalgia bait that came out because there is a lot here. Mortal Kombat. So I don't know if you've played Mortal Kombat 2023 recently, but it's full of gay shit now because Ed Boon is a cocksucker. But that well has run dry, and they've realized nobody wants to play their slop game anymore. So what is there to do except re-release old games with absolutely no effort that people could easily emulate themselves? Metal Gear Solid Delta. All right, I'm actually excited about this game. Please, 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 Konami, don't change anything from the original game. This is obviously a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. If they don't change the story or the dialogue in the game, it will be incredibly based, and I will love it. Final Fantasy Tactics. Another low-effort nostalgia game to get more money out of you guys. I would recommend emulating it and not giving them a dime. Reports are coming out saying that they're doing some new American localization for the game. Translation, they're going to take out homophobic and transphobic content and make it safe and boring in 2025 now. So you're literally just paying them to take an old game that you love and wokeify it. And yeah, I'm not paying anybody for that. Dying Light the Beast. I am one of the few people who actually enjoyed Dying Light 2 quite a bit, but Techland is pretty much admitting now that Dying Light 2 was a failure and they're going back to their roots. Dying Light 1 is still being updated by the developer and is still awesome, so I really have no reason to buy this. Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. So Bloodstained: The Ritual of the Night came out in 2019, and it was awesome. I would file this game under Castlevania nostalgia bait, but it's really good. Ninja Gaiden: Ragebound. This is a 2D game. It looks totally awesome, but again, it is 100% desperate nostalgia bait from Konami. Silent Hill F. Again, more nostalgia bait for Silent Hill fans. Everybody seemed to like the Silent Hill 2 remake, though, so I'm sure this one will probably be pretty good. All right, under the heading of based Asian games that will probably be good, Neo 3. I never played the first 2 Neos, but I hear they are pretty good Souls-like games. Neo's developer is in Tokyo, so it will probably be pretty good. Ninja Gaiden 4. Team Ninja and Platinum Games are working on this. I loved the old Ninja Gaiden games back in the day, and this looks like a return to form. Sorry to use that phrase, but this game looks really good. Really good. Assuming they don't have any purple-haired fat women working at the company, I think this is going to be really good. Acts of Blood. This game is by the guys who did Sifu. They're Indonesian. This game is probably going to be based and good as hell, just like Sifu, because it's Asian and they're not gay like Western developers. Resident Evil Requiem, the next game in the Resident Evil saga. I don't think it will be woke. It will probably be good. Y'all know me, I'm not a huge Resident Evil guy, but fans seem to be excited about this one. Onimusha. My only concern about this game is that Capcom is slowly and surely hiring purple hairs and lesbians and degenerates who are ruining their game releases. The Onimusha 2 remaster you can see on the screen here was censored by Capcom, but perhaps this game will be good. We'll just have to wait and see. Marvel Tokon. This game looks very much in the spirit and the style of Marvel Rivals, and it's probably going to be good. Bringing back the based old 80s design of Iron Man and making them beefy bros was a good choice. Romeo is a Dead Man. This is the new game by Goichi Suda, aka Suda51. Look, when a developer is weird in America, it just means they're trans. But in Japan, when a developer is weird, they're usually just making incredibly based stuff. Suda51 is definitely the second type of developer. This game looks crazy and looks weird, but watch, it's probably going to be really good. Like, he's not going to put any gay pride, gay stuff in it. It's just going to be awesome, I think. Death Stranding 2 by Hideo Kojima. I thought Death Stranding 1 was really boring, but some Western reviewers are saying this game objectifies women, which usually means it's actually going to be good. So I can't really say for sure on DS2, but if you like the first one, it's probably worth checking out. Stranger Than Heaven. This is a new game set in the 1940s from the guys who made the Yakuza games. I love the Yakuza games, so I assume this will be based. But I could be wrong because there has been rumors of Sega hiring a bunch of purple hairs recently. So we'll just have to see when the game comes out. But Yakuza 0 is based as hell. Go play it. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, based Japanese, or maybe it's Chinese Souls-like game. You know what this is. It's going to be awesome. So just to end the Asian section, I of course want to talk about Ghosts of Yotei. Fellas, Ghosts of Yotei is going to be woke as hell. Just like Witcher 4, I'm calling it now. There is almost zero possibility of this game being good. You're playing as a girl boss. It's full of Western feminist nonsense. Ghost of Tsushima was about honor and duty and his relationship with his father. This game is going to be about some single woman with her cats. It's going to be terrible. Forget about it. All right, boys, in closing, I want to talk about the small handful of games that I'm actually excited about. James Bond. This game was the highlight of the entire show for me. At least one developer is waking up and starting to realize what we want, guys. James Bond wasn't turned into a black lesbian girl boss, so that's a really good sign. It's by the developer who did Hitman. The Hitman games are mostly awesome. Guys, I'm excited about this game. This is probably the one game from the entire show I'm excited about. It looks based. It looks awesome. I might even buy it when it comes out. And before you say gaming is healing or something like that, guys, just remember this is one game. This is like 1 out of 100 games that is going to be good. I'm excited to talk about this next game, and it is called Mudang, Two Hearts. Let me read the synopsis of it. In a unified Korea, masked terrorists strike at the heart of Seoul. Ji Jong-tae, a soldier sent in to stop the attacks, stumbles upon a K-pop star named Gavi at the center of the unfolding crisis. As their stories intertwine, a chilling truth begins to take shape. Guys, this game looks good as hell, and it's one of like the 3 games I'm excited about. I mean, it could be total trash when it comes out. We don't know, but the Korea is based in Seoul. The game looks based as hell. You've got tactical gear. I'm getting old school Metal Gear Solid vibes. There's a hot chick in it that you're defending. You're doing military shit. Like, dude, I'm excited about this game. I'm looking forward to it. The next game I'm actually excited about is Atomic Heart 2. It is by a based Russian developer. I've played Atomic Heart 1 on my stream before. I'm a big fan of Atomic Heart 1. And look, I know there's flaws in Atomic Heart, but for the most part, I thought Atomic Heart was a great game. I highly recommend it. And it looks like Atomic Heart 2 is more of the same, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, the only indie game at these entire shows that I was excited about is called Mouse PI. So it is a boomer shooter, and it has an old school Cuphead animation style, but it's a first person game. I think it looks really good. It could come out and be full of woke nonsense, but if we just take it at face value, it's a first person game, which I love, and the Cuphead art style I love. So I'm really excited about this game, and it's probably going to be worth checking out. Metal Gear Delta, I talked a bit about this earlier. I am cautiously optimistic. I hope that Konami does the right thing. The Metal Gear Solid 3 remake here, I'm definitely gonna play it on launch for sure. Mafia: The Old Country, I am cautiously excited about this game. The trailer looks based. Everything that I've seen about the game makes me think it's going to be a based Italian mafia game. But also we know that in Mafia 3, they had a main black guy as the protagonist, which some people think was coming from a place of wokeness, which may or may not be true. I don't know. There was a lot of things that I liked about Mafia 3. So again, I'm going to say I'm cautiously optimistic about Mafia: The Old Country. It could be really, really good. All right, the final game I want to talk about here is called Pragmata, and it is by Capcom. And it looks like you're some kind of male astronaut and you're defending a girl who's maybe like your daughter or something. But here's the description of it. Lose yourself in a brand new sci-fi action-adventure game from Capcom, the creators of Resident Evil and Devil May Cry. Pragmata will present players with a profound story and setting as cutting-edge visuals take full advantage of next-generation platform features, all made possible by the power of the PlayStation 5 console. This game looks like it could be really good. Any game where you are a tough man defending your daughter or defending a young woman, I like that. I like those kinds of games. I really like Last of Us. And I think it's because I have 2 daughters now. So there are women in my life that I want to protect. And so this kind of game where you're a man defending a woman just really resonates with me, and I always love these kinds of games. On the topic of based games, one final thing I wanted to mention here is that apparently this studio, Republic Games, has Chris Avellone working there now, and they're working on an old school RPG. This excites me because Chris Avellone, I have always suspected, is kind of based. There was a false defamation suit against him for sexual harassment, which he won, and people keep bringing it up. Also, when Matt Hansen at Obsidian said he wouldn't hire white people, Chris got on Twitter and basically said Microsoft needed to be sued over that. So Chris is a guy to watch. This game is by Republic Games, and they're getting funded by Krafton. And apparently they're just working on a based old school RPG. Very excited to see in the coming years what they come up with here. Guys, also the creators of based game The Great Rebellion, Cult Games, has a game premiere live stream happening on July 1st. I love Cult Games, and the founder is a really based dude, so please check this out. Finally, guys, did y'all know Ready or Not is coming to console July 15th? I love that Jeff Keighley didn't even mention it. Like, of course not. You have to be gay and trans and pay Jeff Keighley $10 million before he will talk about your game. The dude is just such a liar and a shill. So anyway, boys, right now, I would say the industry, it's like looking into the dark night sky right now, and there are a few tiny, tiny little points of light. We need to burn the industry down. We need to drive it off of a cliff because it is still so completely woke. It's so completely gay, and it's going to be a really, really long time before we turn the industry around. So I'm going to get out of here. See you guys later.